Hey everybody, I'm Gerald Besner. Welcome to the SRV Trainer how-to video series. The place to be for everything you need to know about using your brand new SRV Trainer. All right, ready again? Let's go. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to install or replace your wire cable in your winch and mast assembly. Okay, for the cable that comes supplied with the assembly, you have two different ends. One that has the loop attachment and the one that is bare. So we're going to take that bare end and we're going to feed it around the pulley from the left-hand side through to the right, making sure it goes in between the pulley and the pulley guard. So you can just reach up with your second hand and roll it through, and keep it coming all the way until the looped end is in about the right spot where you can loosen that pin shackle and attach it through. So let's go ahead and do that now. So making sure that your eye bolt and your pin shackle are already installed in the rivet nut on the mast, you can just undo that pin shackle, feed the loop of the cable through, and then retighten that completely. And just give it a good snug. You could lock that with the pin, but you don't need to. So now you can just pull that up, holding it vertical. Use your second hand and just pull that through on the pulley, making sure that it rotates freely. Okay, so now taking the loose end, we want to feed it first through the drum, and there's a couple holes there. So you go all the way through and pull it around, making sure you have lots of slack. Now, you've got 3 holes in the side wheel, 1, 2, 3. And this is a really important step. You want to feed it through the big hole first, pull it through, give it again lots of slack. Then we want to double it back and push it from the outside into the wheel again. Grab the end, find the 3rd hole, bend that cable, and tuck it back in. Once that's tucked in, you can see on this end here it's sticking through. You then want to take up all the slack. So starting from here, making sure it's tight through here, tight through this one, and now I can pull it back up through there and it's tight. So going back into a wide shot, you can see that we have lots of slack in this now, and that's what we need in order to be able to raise the mast up to its full height. Now I'm going to show you how to take care of that slack. So now you want to just use your one hand, pull up so that there's no longer any slack. Use your second hand and turn counterclockwise and get that wheel spinning. And that's going to grab the cable and start feeding it around the drum. Now this is going to take a minute or two to take out the slack, but I like doing this by hand just to make sure that nothing slides out here and that it stays within all 3 of those pinholes and it starts overlapping on itself while it's feeding. And there you can get a good look at those 2 holes that it had to pass through to get it started. And those are important things to keep it locked in so that this does not slide out. So now if you look up at the pulley, you can see that everything is getting a little bit tighter. And if you look back down at the pin shackle and the eye bolt, we're starting to see them move around. Now at this point, once we remove enough slack, we just want to use our hand and make sure that that's straight up and down. Again, keeping tension on this one, we're just going to take up the rest of that tension until everything is straight up and down. Okay, so that's it right there. We are in. Now, if you've gone too far, you'll see that this actually is starting to pull the mast up inside the stand. So I'm just going to give it a few extra turns, and that's how we're actuating the mast. I'm going to bring it back down, and we'll show you the top where the mast sits on top of the stand, and I'll repeat that same process. So looking right here, the mast should be sitting flush on the stand in the low mast position. So when I do activate the winch, you can see it starts to separate and lift. And you'll start seeing those numbers on the scale, which are going to give you your accurate measurements for your vertical jump training as well as your rebounding. Great. So now we're going to get it back down to the low mass position. And then there's another important piece that we'll need to add in here. Now, one last note is that when it's in the resting position, I always like to keep a little bit of tension on that, just a little bit. Okay, and then that way nothing's getting caught, moves around. But that's how it's gonna look once it's all assembled. I hope you found that segment helpful. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. Go to our website or subscribe to check out all of our new videos. All right, now we wanna see how creative you can get with your shooting, rebounding, and vertical jump training. So tag us on your socials with hashtag SRV Trainer so we can give you a shout out.